YouTube and Rumble. Hello. Hello, hello. Um, the patent is void. And what does that mean? How can that be? Well, it's easy. It's easy. Um, so I have experience. I have some experience with patents. And and one of the things I know about patents is maintenance fees. Yeah, fee. And so it's something that has entered my mind from time to time since the patent issued. However, I had no idea that the time period for the first maintenance fee was so short. I had no idea. And so I got a little bit of a shock here when I decided to take a look. I really thought I was in the safe zone. Um, and yet it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't matter. This is 2025. This is November. Um, Maybe today's the 8th. I'll turn this other phone on. Um, I, so it, it was early 2016 when I filed for the patent. And the whole time it's pending, you have patent protection if you want to be to market. But the deep state said no, 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 no industry for you, no money for you, isolation for you. That's what we got for you. So be surrounded by fear. Um, no money and no industry. So that that's been an incredible, absolute incredible handicap. So um, this this is a letter, or yeah, I call it a letter, via email only. Okay. But this from the former patent attorney. This was final office action, patent denied, and come to find out that the patent office examiner and my patent attorney had been working against me for years, and I fought and I won that. I won that patent, right? And uh, so I've done a lot of talking about that. I've done a lot of talk about that. Um, this is uh, this is a check that I got from a couple of bar agents, cannabis attorneys, uh, for 50% of my intellectual property, and that was because I needed I needed I had I have I'd been put out of business. I had my assets seized. I've been put through lawfare. Lucky to be on the street at that point. I mean, really, really lucky to be on the street. Um, and and then I had to be quiet, right? Patent pending, had to be quiet. I got to protect the intellectual property, right? And so I won the patent after final office action, patent denied, because the patent attorney, my former patent attorney, and the examiner for my case were in collusion, working against me. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that patent office examiner was a bar attorney. I would not be a bit surprised, but I don't know. That's something that would be interesting to see. Uh, Says there's one person here. I don't believe those numbers. Anybody wants to put anything in the live chat? Go ahead. Please do. I've gotten comments in the videos after they're done that live chat was not cooperating. In other words, they were posting, but it wasn't coming through. So I suppose if you have that issue, you can put something in the comments later after the video is done. Because comments, I don't think comments are available during a live stream, just the live chat. So at any rate, 2000 December 2015 is when they raided me. Um, let's see, when did the patent issue? March 2nd, 2021. March 2nd, 2021. So 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years. Oh, 2021, 6 years. 6 years patent pending. 6 years patent pending. And patent office examiner and the patent attorney working against me. The patent office for sure working against me the entire time. And for, I think, easily 3 years, the patent attorney and the patent office examiner working against me. Again, to the point of final office action, patent denied. And I fought and I won that patent. And when I got notice of allowance, I had to pay for the issue fee before they issue the patent, and not. And I better get that money there before they're ready to issue the patent, and they don't give a date, right? They don't give you a date, like a due date. And so if you don't get it paid, well, then the patent's not going to issue, and then it's never going to issue. So I had the money for that. I had the money for that. I had multiple patents. I had multiple patents. It's all written in here. It's all written in here. And so the way the patent office works is you can have a continuation in part patents. And so that means that, and with and maintain your priority date from your filing, right? So this patent is for calcified plaque removal, calcified plaque prevention. The continuation application was for gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss. And that's what these attorneys That's what these attorneys got, was 50% of my intellectual property to come up with the $6,000 for the PCT, right? Uh, and, um, and really what their job was to be a bar agent, be a good bar agent, and now work with R. Reams Badlow, the former patent attorney, work with him to work against me. So they did. They did, and it cost them $1,500. That's what this. That's what this check is here. $1,500. Why do I have the check? Well, evidence. And I did. I had Chase Banking at the time, and you could take a picture of the check, front and back, and make the deposit. That's what I did. But I got the receipt right here. Okay. So these guys got 50% of my intellectual property. And what they were supposed to do was secure the PCT position, right? The PCT, that's the right to file international patents. And there's a window for that. It's about a year and a half, roughly. It's about a year and a half to get your international patents filed. So, as you can imagine, I was pretty gassed that I won the patent. And I felt like, okay, now things should change for the better. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Because these two bar agents made sure that there was no PCT for calcified plaque removal and calcified plaque prevention. Now, I'm patent pending again. This patent issued. I did not get the PCT, but I did get the continuation patent application in. And you look at these pages. There's a lot of fine print here, and it's page after page. And when it gets into the double-sided, page, double-sided page to the end. And so the difference between this patent that issued and is now void, the patent for gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss was pending after the bar agents kiboshed the international patent opportunity for calcified plaque removal and calcified plaque prevention. So, now I know, now we're at the point in time that I know that these two bar agents purposefully, with intent, fucked me out of international patent rights for calcified plaque removal and calcified plaque prevention. And it was not much after that that I proved that my patent attorney had been working against me and in collusion with the patent office examiner. um, my eyes opened up. I started looking at paperwork, and then I did some investigating, and then I got asked some questions. I got some paperwork I didn't have. Now I got the phone records. I got the phone records of the patent office examiner and my former patent attorney's office communications. I've got the emails. And so now I know that the patent attorney had been in collusion with the patent office working against me. So, the um, situation at this point in time now is we know about all the bar agents in the patent office, and we've lost international patent rights. Me and my family, right? I mean, I'm doing this for my family, for the business, and as for the benefits. That's for all, right? That's for everyone. Um, but I got a patent in hand, United States patent for calcified plaque removal and calcified plaque prevention, and I am now patent pending for gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss, which science says is impossible. They got it in writing in the United States National Library of Medicine, and um, that's the position of science. And the National Institute of Health decides to fund $1.8 billion to rejuvenate gum tissue back in 2016. They failed even before my patent issued, because that study ended in 2019. All right, so now here I have a couple of bar agents that have captured 50% of my intellectual property, but they've done it in a fraud, right? They've a conspiracy, RICO. Uh, they've done it in a fraud, in a RICO. So truly, they have nothing, right? Truly, they have nothing. But the fact remains that this is what happened, and um, and there's this patent pending. There's this patent pending, and R. Reams Goodloe has resigned. Patent attorney has resigned. No longer have a patent attorney. He resigned. He resigned after we went through a court process, or somewhere in that court process. So at this point now, I have no communicator between me and the United States Patent Office, and I have this patent pending. Well, the Patent Office decided to deny the patent. Again, Patent Office wants to play patent fuckery, and they deny the patent for gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss. Now, I haven't done a word count on this thing, but there's a lot. This is fine print. This is small print. Okay, out of all these pages, the only things that would have changed would have been the date, the patent number, and the words calcified plaque removal and calcified plaque prevention those words would have been changed to gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss, and that's it. Everything else, all the claims, the formulations, the everything the same. And that was a strategy. That was a strategy to make sure that the continuation patent to the original would issue. But the patent office denied it. And um, I'm not sure of the timeline. But I, I was Johnny on the spot, but was I Johnny on the spot in time? Maybe, maybe. I went live on YouTube and made a call to the examiner for my case with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And boy, was he a little shocked, caught off guard when I told him this was a public recorded call. Anyways, I got done with the call and I go to watch the video on YouTube, and it's video only, no sound. Go figure, right? Go figure. Um, so at that point, I was trying to deal with the situation that they had no basis to deny the patent. And I either told that examiner I was going to send him the paperwork, or I'd already sent it and it was there for him, which would have been um, my case, my court case with the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the head and the of the office and the examiner for my case. Um, so where are my partners? Where are my partners through all of this? They're nowhere. They're nowhere, right? They're nowhere. So I lost that. I lost the intellectual property a second time. A second time, because that was another opportunity for international patents, because I would have paid the issue fee for gum tissue rejuvenation and prevention of gum tissue loss. I'd have paid the issue fee, and it paid the PCT to get international patent rights, and also a continuation fee for another patent that is in the original, um, in the original, which might be going towards non-euphoric formulations. And see, that was part of the strategy. I had been pressing the patent attorney to pursue the non-euphoric formulation. And he came back to me. He says, "We want this patent to issue. We want this patent to issue." So, um, keeping it all the same, what are they going to reject? Uh, Nothing. But they did. They did. You see. So all this time, Um, I have been in poverty. I wear rags. I sleep on rags. My shoes are held together with duct tape. Um, I'm struggling, but I'm surviving. I've become a minimalist, and I have adapted to it. Um, and I'm looking forward to when the when the times change for the better. So, at any rate, I was a little shocked when I read this section because really I thought I was in a safe window. But the fact is that that window closed and I was unaware. I didn't have a patent attorney. My two partners, the bar agents, they got 50% of my intellectual property. So, maintenance fee notice. It's right here inside the cover. I'll read it. If the application for this patent was filed on or after December 12th, 1980, maintenance fees are due 3 years and 6 months, 7 years and 6 months, and 11 years and 6 months after the date of grant, or within a grace period of 6 months thereafter upon payment of a surcharge as provided by law. The amount, number, and timing of the maintenance fee required may be changed by law or regulation unless payment of the applicable maintenance fee is received in the United States Patent and Trademark Office or on or before the date the fee is due or within a grace period of 6 months thereafter. The patent will expire as of the end of such grace period. So, void, void. That means it's wide open. It's wide open. Now, is is anybody going to bring this to market? I So far nobody has. Nobody. And when I lost the international patent rights, I'm offered it to the world. My trade secrets, along with my intellectual property. A lot of times, there's important information related to whatever it is that the patent's for that's not in the patent. And the smart guys will do what they do, right, to have an advantage. So that's how it stands today. That's how it stands today. So at this point, there's no advantage. There's no advantage for all the money I spent, all the effort, all the time, all the secrecy, was all for naught. And um, 10 years has gone by where I have not been able to advance the science with any significance. Um, and I say it that way because my hands have been tied. And I've been able to think. I've been able to do a little bit, but I haven't been able to work on like strain specific formulations, and other options like creating a gum that would uh, because a gum has Well, it has an abrasion on the teeth, right? And and the oil could be in the middle of the gum, and the gum could be sweetened by the xylitol. There's so many things, and uh, at any rate, uh, it's I really I thought I was in the safe zone, but I'm not. So there is no intellectual property. Now, I am not without an optimistic outlook. No, mm-mm. I have an optimistic outlook. I do have an optimistic outlook, and and that is for justice. That is for justice, and um, I think the day is getting close. I think it's getting close. It's certainly getting closer every day. Every day that passes, we're a day closer. But how many days away are we from the beginning of having justice in America? I don't know. Um, let's say specifically for my situation, I don't know, but it certainly looks as if there is justice happening in America as I'm speaking. Uh, in recent times, um, it certainly looks that way to me. Now, my what my view is very different from most of you because most of you have a life. Um, you've got a job, you got family, you got friends, you got your hobbies, you've got you got a life. I have isolation and poverty, and and so I have pretty much 24 hours a day to do research. I have 24 hours a day for critical thinking, to connect the dots, to figure out what is going on. And the dots add up to me that we are under martial law, that there is a military operation that's in process of taking down the old system and a new system coming up. So those of you that are listening to me, you got a pretty good idea what the old system was. Most of the normies, they have no idea what a slave system it is. Um, but we do. We know, right? So we're happy to see the old system go down. But what is coming? A lot of people are blackpilled about what's coming. Um, and I see this. I see it and I hear it. And and what's it based on? What's it based on? Um, versus you know, that's your view for you, their view for them of what's coming, or what might be coming. Um, we're and so what's going away? We want it all to go. We want that whole Babylonian system to go away, right? And we want justice. We want justice, right? So I do. And this is why I held court time and time again, using postal mechanics in the judicial process. Um, the more I learned, the more I stood, and I come to the comprehension there is no, um, well, all right, I'll be careful how I say this. Uh, The courts that the people know, the circuit court, the district court, the federal courts, these are not courts of land, air, and water. They're not courts of law. They are administrative courts in a slave system. What they are. They're illegal and they're unlawful. Now, you, sovereign mind, sovereign body, sovereign soul, uh, you stand in court. You do. And you can judge yourself all day long, every day. And you can hold court. Your paper, your paper. The administrators will teach you about the four corners. That's your court. How are you going to conduct yourself in your court within your four corners? So these are the things that I learned. And so using the judicial process and postal mechanics, I held court time and time again. And then I come to the comprehension that the American people need a court for the people. There's something beyond what I was doing. What I was doing was postal mechanics and judicial process for court, and very successfully. As far as a win goes, but no forcement, no forcement, and um, no, no closure, right? Not stamped done, right? Because there's some elements missing. The judges are missing. What you would call jury. 12 judges. Um, a referee, an orderly, which you would think you might call a judge, but it's all monkey muck. That's all Babylonian monkey muck. The judges are in a jury box in a court of law. So, America, where do you find this? You find this at 1689 Cool Road, Southeast Kalkaska, Michigan. That's where you find it. That's what I did. I gave the American people a land location for a court of law. I invited America to be here. And that's when military showed up in earnest and has been communicating with me on virtually a daily basis since that time period. And so all of my cases are open. Uh, a process has been conducted. The evidence has been brought forward. Discovery has been facilitated. And all the defendants through, I can't, what the Babylonian term escapes me at the moment. So forget the term. They didn't they didn't respond. They accepted the charges against them. The evidence, they could not deny the evidence put before them of their crimes. So every one of my cases was successful. So now the judges need to review the cases. And then the next steps need to happen, which would be justice and restitution. That means a penalty for the criminals and compensation for the victim or victims. Because I have cases that have victims, like my case on the DEA. Every American is a victim, and if you're an American who is imprisoned for marijuana, for cannabis, it's $100,000 a day per person. As long as there isn't any other factors. I mean, like violence, kind of things, robbery. There's a lot of people in prison for 30 years for possession of a joint. So some of the cases have claimants, like the entire American population. If you're an American and you have been denied optimal oral health through cannabis, $10 a day. Now we're talking back to 2016. right? They raided me December 2015. It was in the early months of 2016 that I'm filing the patent. So we're coming up on 10 years. $10 a day for every American. $100,000 a day for every American that's incarcerated for cannabis. We need the justice. Now you got the ADA poisoning the American population with root canals. Every root canal is a toxic tooth. Everyone you could consider it a factory, a toxic chemical factory permanently installed in your mouth that operates 24/7, 365. Doesn't take breaks, doesn't take lunch breaks, doesn't clock in and clock out. No, this factory runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, does not take vacations, does not take holidays. Serious. 40 million of them a year. Needless. So I I'm still processing I'm still processing how I feel about this patent expiring. Um, it expired because of the position that they put me in, mentally and financially. This is not neglect on my part. No, it's not. Um, I, it's my responsibility. So I've dealt with it to the best of my capability. Can't tell if there's something in the live chat or not. Says there's two people here. Thanks for joining. I I'm gonna keep on bringing it forward, and I'm sure not gonna stop fighting for this. Um, and I want everyone in the cannabis business to know that this is wide open, wide open. A lot of a lot of patents are infringed upon right out of the gate, um, especially for a patent that is granted to one of the people, one of the people without the resources and experience to build a business, build a marketing campaign, uh, get the financing in place, get the team in place, and everything that it takes to build a business and create product and market it and make money. Um, Quite often, those situations, which was like, well, in a sense, like mine. I mean, uh, although I have the experience how to run a business, I've done international business. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 5. I've run a lot of businesses, owned a lot of businesses, successful. and international. But my opportunity was global, like from the onset. And so that would be putting together a huge team. But the the my situation years ago with the power of coping saw would be one of those situations where um, it's a real niche market, real niche versus oral health concerns everybody, and this is man and mammal. So that really adds a lot of numbers when you add in the mammal, right? The cats, the dogs, the horses, the sheep, the cows, um, and so infringement on the intellectual property. The average guy who manages to win a patent, to have a patent granted, uh, that's a major accomplishment. But going forward from that is is not easy. And when you find yourself your intellectual property being infringed, you got some marketing giant out there that's mass producing it and distributing it and selling it like crazy, and you're trying to get off the ground, and now you've got to fight this motherfucker in court, right? And and how's that going to go for you? How's that going to go for you? It ain't going to go well, right? And so what is common practice would be for the inventor who was infringed upon, if he was to uh, have a victory in court, in that administrative slave court system, it would typically be like being granted a royalty, and that's it. But you see, I don't need anybody to build a business for me. I don't need anybody to run a business for me. I'm fully capable of all of that myself. And the raising the money should not have been a problem, but all the fear, all the fear surrounding this, that made it a problem. And so I am looking forward to justice. I'm looking forward to all of my cases being facilitated to closure in military tribunals. That's what I'm looking forward to. And it, to me, it would be a great satisfaction. It would be a great satisfaction to be in that position, and specifically, I mean, in all of it, right? Because I mean, there's a lot of cases. There's a lot of cases, and there's probably more um, to initiate. But um, so there'd be great satisfaction in that position. But one in particular would be so satisfying. And that's what the former patent attorney. That's what the former patent attorney, because um, My case with him, I'm trying to remember now. Oh, these Babylonian words. Remedy. Remedy. My cases, it would have remedy, and and failure to remedy um, triggers something else, right? And so, in the case of my patent attorney, I let him know um, that if he did not remedy, that he could be subject to international tribunals, international courts, and tribunals. And he responded to that. He responded to that. He said, "Good luck." So that's why that one would be so satisfying. I mean, beyond beyond the pure bliss of being in the position of my cases getting finalized through military tribunals, which I'm confident is coming. I'm quite confident that's what's coming. And so one person here, and maybe that's me. Maybe that's me. So at any rate, there it is. That's a public announcement. Oral health with cannabis has no intellectual property protection. Um, Maybe in a world of justice, um, the intellectual property can be placed and have position. I don't know. But certainly, we need judgment because there's a lot of criminals that uh, should be brought to justice. And in the collection of assets, there should be plenty there for some form of restitution for me and for the American people. So the fight goes on, but from this day forward, I'm no longer standing on the patent because the patent is void. All the intellectual property with regards to all the work I did is void. So there we go. All right, I think I'm gonna close this one out. I'll autograph out of here. I say much love to all of you, and I'll be back. I will.